Good morning. This is going to be more of a concept than a tutorial since it's not done yet, really. So we'll use the ALS poses. You can import them however you desire. Retarget them to UE5 mannequin. And we will use the M4A1 poses to create a pose asset. We come into our pose asset and we can pick our poses. So here is our ready animation or ready pose that we'll use. And you can just go up, create asset, create animation, current animation or current pose, and that will create the animation that you want for that. I use pose 0 for relaxed, pose 2 for ready, which the ready is the one I use for walking, and then 4 for the aiming. You don't really have to worry about the legs too much because we won't be using those bones. So for that part, you go ahead and go into the sandbox character mover. We add in our debug using an enum for weapon type. These are just the ones I liked, so in there. We also had to make a look at location. Just easiest way is just to get the camera manager. We'll just line trace from the start of it to the end location, which is 10,000 units out. Then we get a return of the location it hits or the end of the trace. Is that supposed to be your back point? Anyways, and then if we don't get a hit, we need to use the trace end for the look at location. Now we need, by the way, this kills this. Um, this overwrites the mover look at feature. Alright, so we have to find the strut, update it. We need to send over what kind of weapon we're using. We need to send it for aiming, as you know, for whatever reason. The other one does not. Why? Look at that later. And then we want to send over our look at location, all to the animation blueprint. So sandbox mover, ABP. You're updating the properties already in our updating here. So now that we have that, we can just use the property access, character properties, and then now we can find our look at location for our control rig. Our control rig is hilarious looking, but we need to go to my blueprint, make a variable, look at location, vector, exposed, instant, exposed on spawn, and then we'll use these aim nodes. The From my understanding, the primary is forward vector, the secondary is up vector. So up is X on UFM, Y is forward. I think it's like that on all of the Unreal mannequins. And you got one done, then make, and I do one for each spine. So spine 1, spine 2, 3, 4, 5, that always screwed me up. Get your location, and then from world, and then send that out to the primary of all your inputs here. And essentially that is the, if you don't know, add your reg hierarchy. That ends that on that. So after you make all your single animations, you can make a chooser table off of your animation blueprint. Aim, ready, relax, aim, ready, relax, aim, ready, relax. Is aiming. And then, since I wanted it ready and relaxed, I put in a speed for the float range. So if you're not moving, your acceleration or your 2D length of your velocity is not above 10, then it'll just be the relaxed. Uh, Above 10 will be ready. And then if you're using the aim, the speed doesn't matter. And I think that you would want to, inside your character, do any logic if you wanted to slow down while aiming, obviously. But I would change this to person. And then we want the weapon, rifle, bow. But I'm not using the bow. And then the bow one came out weird, and I think it's because I used the no curve one. Pistol 2, so that's the chooser. So, starting the animation graph in between these two nodes, I added in layered blend per bone. This is the chooser table. Make sure it's on update. If not, it's not going to work correctly. Evaluate chooser, weapon blends. If you're doing aim offsets proper and you have a pitch and the yaw you want to use, then you can actually put these into pins, and now you can bring in your manual X, or goddamn it. But since we're using the control rig, we don't have to worry about that. All we need is literally just so force looping, playback's fine, blend time. You're not using animation, single frame, so it really doesn't help any. None of that. Bring off your property access for character properties, weapon, and then use a select. And then if this, so if it's set to bow, that will return true. And then set true will then force this to be updated. And if you're not, then we don't want this pose to be applied, obviously. So yeah, there's how you do your single blend pose. And then aim offset. Here's all the fun stuff that was in here and the stuff I played with. And weird moving arm things. So control rig, you just use enable AO just like it would here. So if you're not using AO, then it kills off the control rig. Look at location, you have to select here. Ignore that one because that was from another tutorial. AO, and now let's sprint in, but let's press the 1 key. Now we have 0 relaxed. Start moving. Again for the pistol. And you notice the pistol is actually aimed up. That line trace there is for our aim at location or look at location. And for whatever reason, this one's high. But we also have the same relaxed, ready, because we're moving, and then aim. And it absolutely looks ridiculous sprinting. But a lot of that's probably going to be hideable if you have a character with a trench coat. So, yeah. Any questions? Let me know. Once I figure this out more, be able to get it better, like this snapping, for example, then maybe I'll do a tutorial of it. But right now, I'm not going to.